Hello and good evening. You are very welcome to IT Sligo Open Evening. My name is Jacqueline, and in this panel talk, we are going to speak about the programs that we offer within the Department of Health and Nutritional Sciences. So with that, I am delighted to introduce our panel today and the schedule for this talk. So first up, we're going to speak about our health science programs. I would like to introduce Emer Donlan is a lecturer on our programs to the panel. Emer, you are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Moving on, we will speak about our Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, and I'm absolutely delighted that we have a past student, Niamh O'Callaghan. Niamh is going to share with us her experience of studying this course and what she enjoyed. Niamh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And lastly, we will speak to Dr. Rachelle Burns. Rachelle is the Programme Chair of the Health and Medical Information Science Programme, which is an online course. And Rachelle, you are very welcome.
Thanks very much, Jacqueline.
So before we get started, if anyone would like to ask any questions during today's event, you can do so in the live Q&A section on this event page. And if you have any questions after this event, you can visit our CAO hub on itsligo.ie. We have a live function there, or visit any of our social media channels. I would be more than happy to answer any questions. So let's get started. Emer, I'll start with yourself. So looking at our health science programs, so we'll start off by talking about our level 6 health and exercise science. So this is a relatively new course, and it was developed to help students gain an alternative route into those allied health professions, so such as physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech and language, radiography. Can you tell us about this level 6 and what is that route students take?
Okay, good evening, Jacqueline. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry we're doing this virtually and not on campus, but I'm still delighted to be afforded the opportunity to talk about our fantastic suite of programs. So the level 6 was specifically designed, as you said, Jacqueline, to really fast track students that absolutely have their heart set on gaining entry into the clinical health courses that traditionally would have very, very high points. And we realised that we needed an exit award of this kind because a lot of our students were leaving after 2 years after successfully gaining entry. So this higher cert, which is extremely popular, provides students with a really solid foundation in a wide range of science-based, very much transferable skills. But then we also have some lovely modules that dovetail into the health science courses like health communication, health psychology, introduction to kinesiology, fitness testing, exercise physiology. So it really covers a lovely suite of programs that have the science underpinning, but also the modules that are appealing to clinical courses.
Okay, fantastic. And what colleges are students? So a lot of students will stay on and do our level 7 and level 8, but if they exit after 2 years, what colleges are students transferring to?
Okay, so last year, 9 of our higher certs successfully gained entry into colleges to study predominantly physiotherapy and diagnostic radiography. They were the emerging ones. They do tend to transfer into UK colleges across the water. We have nearly a mini Sligo IT campus in the University of Salford in Manchester, University of Coventry, Cardiff University, and then in Scotland, very popular Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen and Queen Margaret University in Edinburgh. But we also would have a smattering across the whole of the UK, to be honest, but they would be the main ones that our students would transfer to.
And one of the things I love about this level 6 program is that it allows students to change their mind midstream. I've heard lecturers say before in the past that someone might start on the level 6 saying that they're here because they want to study physiotherapy, but by the time they've studied the 2 years, they realise, actually, no, I much prefer the radiography side of things. So I love that idea about that level 6. So let's talk about our level 7 health science and physiology and our level 8 health science and physical activity. Emer, can you give our viewers today a kind of an overview of these courses and what is the difference between the two of them?
Okay, so our health science programs, they really were developed to meet a demand for providing graduates with a really good skill set and knowledge in skills that are able to promote, to lead and to prescribe physical activity and health promotion initiatives. So they're very practical, innovative courses. And as I said, they provide our students with the skills to be able to really help people achieve better overall health and for all of us to try and live healthier lives. The distinction between the 2 degrees, the first 3 years are absolutely common. So whether you sign up for the level 7 or the level 8, your first 3 years you're sitting side by side and they're common. The only distinction then is in the 4th year of the physical activity degree, we have really aligned modules to sit with the clinical area. So we do clinical exercise prescription, exercises, medicine, a lot more advanced clinical measurement techniques and more advanced exercise medicine kind of modules. But all in all, they really complement each other. We would, if I can just say, have a couple of what we call streams that run commonly throughout the 2 degrees. So we have what we call a health promotion stream. So that really enables our learners to learn and get educated on the wider determinants of health. What determines somebody's health? How can we empower individuals or groups in society to achieve better health? Another stream then, which is my own baby, would be the exercise physiology stream. So that looks at the changes that happen in the human body when we exercise, basically. We have a physical activity stream then, which is really developed to help assess people's health and fitness. So we develop exercise programs and try and really promote adherence to physical activity participation. And then the final stream would really be a very strong research stream throughout the whole degree, whether you're doing the level 7 or the level 8, where our learners are able to design health interventions. They are able to measure them. They get the knowledge to learn how to understand scientific evidence, to interpret data and report findings to a wide variety of different audiences. So those streams will be very common running throughout the 2 degrees.
And when students graduate, what kind of job opportunities is there for students? What kind of jobs are students getting?
Okay, so there really is a wide range of jobs, Jacqueline, and some of them really love the health promotion, public health aspects of it, and others really like the physical activity. And there really is something for everybody. It's all about primary prevention in health at the moment. So our students can go into careers in physical activity promotion, sports coordinators with all the recreation partnerships across the country. Youth Work and Feroiga have been very big employers. Healthy Ireland interventions are now running out, a big campaign there with Get Ireland Active and Healthy Ireland. We also have exercise prescription for people with chronic diseases and specialist populations. A very common pathway is now thankfully applying for Masters and PhD. We have quite a number of students who now have graduated with PhDs in a very specialised area of their choice. So there's a wide range of job opportunities, Jacqueline, and they're only going to open up given the current situation regarding health and obesity in Ireland.
Very good. You mentioned there the masters as well. Just to highlight, there is those masters into those allied health professions too. Our level 8 graduates go on and do them. So for example, we had Niall Carr, who's from Bundoora, and he studied our level 8 and he went on now and he's doing a master's down in UCC in radiography. And his student story is up on our website there if anyone would like to read it. But lots of students go on and do the masters, and it allows in the allied health professions, and that allows them to stay in Ireland if they'd like to take that route also. So Emer, talking about these courses they hold some unique international accreditations. Can you tell our viewers about these accreditations and I suppose what does it offer our students?
Yeah, so our courses are recognised now by the Register of Exercise Professionals, which is better known as REPS Ireland. And depending on whether students meet the qualifying standards in the marker modules, they are able to register as an exercise professional in Fitness Instructors Award. And that award is recognised in Ireland, in the EU and internationally as well. And we have had that award since 2017. In 2021, our programme was awarded the Personal Trainer Accreditation and again, the Exercise for Health Specialist. So these are two very, very high quality accreditations. And I say if students meet the qualifying criteria, they could leave the course at the end of the 4th year, if they stay and do the level 8, with their Fitness Instructors Award, a personal Personal Training Award and Exercise for Health Specialist Award. I suppose just to know that there is a stepping stone, you have to do the fitness trainer before you can be eligible for the personal trainer. Unfortunately, you have to do a minimum of 3 years with us to be eligible for those awards. There's no award if you exit after the higher cert because you just haven't covered enough of the modules.
There you go. And lastly, Emer, let's talk about our facilities. So anyone watching today, to let you know that IT Sligo is one of the largest science schools in Ireland. So our science building was newly refurbished back in 2014. So absolutely stunning labs and stunning facilities. And our students have access to industry spec equipment. Can you tell us, Emer, about our health science labs and what kind of equipment our students can look forward to using?
Yeah, absolutely, Jacqueline. Very, very proud of our exercise physiology room in particular, which really boasts state-of-the-art equipment. So we have a Biodex machine, which is an isokinetic testing device for looking at various different aspects of leg strength. Students would often use that for research projects, and I've tested a lot of professional teams would come in to look to use it as well. So great exposure for students. We also have a very unusual looking machine called a bod pod, which is currently regarded as the gold standard for assessing body composition. And again, a lot of outside professional groups and my students will use them with the nutrition students for research. We also have a gas metallizer. So that's used to look at body composition, for VO2 max testing, for looking at cardiovascular fitness. We can also look to see the effect of different foods on people's metabolic rates. And we also have a G-walker, which is used to analyse the biomechanical aspects of how people walk and the gait analysis. And as well as that, most of you are probably aware we have a state-of-the-art running track, huge sports hall, a lovely mirrored studio. And our gym in the Knockmore Arena is currently being refitted with new equipment at the moment as well. So there's really, really great equipment, not to mention the multi-million-pound biology foundation labs too.
Very good. Emer, thank you so much for your time today. That was absolutely fantastic.
Niamh,
I'll come on to you. So let's talk about our Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition. So we offer this course at a level 7 and level 8. So Niamh, what led you to choose this course?
And firstly, thank you so much for having me on this evening. I guess initially what led me to choose the course was for my love of sport. So growing up, I was quite active from playing Gaelic football, and then I also used to ride a lot of horses. So I was always on the go, had a very active lifestyle. And I guess a few of my different trainers growing up always taught me the importance of fueling correctly for performance and boat recovery. I guess in secondary school, food and my interest in nutrition came from, I guess, studying home economics and biology. So once I knew I loved those subjects, I started looking at potential third level degrees. So I was always interested in dietetics, especially in transition year. I shadowed a dietitian. However, knowing that the points for dietetics were so high and it was a very competitive undergraduate course, I started looking at different pathways, such as completing a master's in dietetic after completing an undergraduate course in human nutrition. So I guess that's initially what led me to the course.
Fabulous. Can you list out some of the modules you've studied and what were your favourite?
Yeah, of course. So I guess the first 2 years of human nutrition, you cover a lot of fundamentals in science. So this would include biology, anatomy, chemistry. You also do a little bit of maths. I was quite lucky in the regard I did study chemistry for my leaving cert. However, like a lot of my friends on the course hadn't studied chemistry, but by the end of first year, we were kind of all up to the same level. So especially the first 2 years, all the modules are very balanced. So you learn a lot in theory in your modules, but then you also have a lot of practical elements in the course. So this is nice because it allows you to put what you learn in your modules into practice in the labs. And then by third and fourth year, I guess these 2 years in particular were my favourite because the course really narrows to nutrition and different areas within. Like Emer was saying there, I guess you have a lot of nutrition assessments too. So I remember actually when you said the Bob Pod, I actually have been in that Bob Pod because you do carry out nutrition assessments. A lot of the labs are very hands-on. I had a few favourite modules. I guess in third and fourth year, having that dietetics in mind, I loved clinical nutrition 1 and 2. For example, like this module will cover the role of diet and treatment of nutrition-related diseases, and this would together like explore then how nutrition support for patients for chronic and acute illnesses.
Very good. And in your fourth year, Niamh, students go on a 16-week work placement. Where did you undertake your placement?
So I was very lucky in the regard, I guess it was pre-COVID when I was in fourth year. And one of my favourite elements of the course was placement. So I completed my work placement in St. James's University Hospital in Leeds in the United Kingdom. So this included shadowing dietitians in wards, in adult wards and in paediatric wards and in day clinics. I covered a lot over the 16-week placement. So I also carried out different research projects in my spare time over there. And I got to work in wards. For example, I did research projects on type 2 diabetes and enteral nutrition. The experience improved my communication, research and professional development skills. I guess it also gave me the opportunity to see elements of what I'd learned my past 3.5 years in college about disease, diet and immunology in a practical setting. For example, when the dietitians were explaining this nutritional advice and communicating it to patients, it was great to see what I'd learned actually put into practice. As well, that made the placement and all is an amazing opportunity. Like I was saying earlier, like I was very keen to pursue a master's in dietetics, so it's really important you build a strong application while you're in the undergraduate course. And this placement, as well as my final year research project, really helped me to do so.
Fantastic. Sounds like excellent experience, Niamh. Well done. So you're currently undertaking a master's and you got a scholarship to do so. So can you tell us about this master's?
Yeah, of course. So I guess like I was saying there, my final year project, I carried out that project on the muscle strength and ambulatory oncology placements, oncology patients while I was in fourth year. And this involved attending Sligo University Hospital. So I used to go up throughout the days in between lectures, and I was in the chemotherapy ward, and I really, really enjoyed the project. And I was talking to oncology patients, and I just noted really the lack of nutritional support in a really interesting area. So I talked to my supervisor, who was Miss Laura Kiefer, and she gave me the option to apply for this master's. So my master's at the moment is funded by the Irish Research Council, so I'll be on their postgraduate scholarship programme, and it's titled The Nutrition Related Life for Irish Cancer Survivors. So I get there is a little bit of there's not much data in this area, so that's what the project is all about. So we're collecting data to have available data in this area in Ireland. So there's very little data on Irish cancer survivors in the area of nutrition. So that's what my project's all about at the moment.
That sounds fantastic. And when are you due to finish that, Niamh?
So I'm currently, there's 3 phases so far. So I'm in the second year. So I'm actually finishing up next September. So we've actually completed all 3 phases, which has been amazing. Obviously with COVID, we had to do a lot of it online, but it was totally accessible across Microsoft Teams, and we got a lot of our focus groups done that way. So I'm currently writing up a lot of the findings for publication, and I'm hoping to have my thesis finished by September.
Fantastic, well done. And just to let our viewers know the type of master's that is very common amongst our human nutrition graduates is the Masters in Dietetics, which you spoke of, Niamh. So students can go to UL, they go to Ulster University, University of Manchester. This academic year, we had 7 graduates from IT Sligo Level 8 Human Nutrition start on that Masters in Dietetics down in UL. So that's a really common pathway now for a lot of our students, which is absolutely fantastic. And Niamh, lastly, can you tell us what was the best thing about this course, and what you think you should let applicants know?
So I loved, like I said, many elements of the course. I loved my final year project and my placement over in Leeds. I think it's really important to know that the programme is accredited by the Association for Nutrition. So this would mean that students, once you finish and you graduate, you can apply to become a registered associate nutritionist when they graduate. I also think it's really important to know it's a really broad course, so it's not narrow to like one job when you qualify. It gives you like a range of opportunities to pursue a range of different employment. And as well, similar to what Emer was saying about some of the other health science courses, there is the 2 entry options. So you have your level 7 and you also have your level 8, and like that, the first 3 years we're all beside each other in modules. You all start the same, and then you have the option with the level 7 if you don't want to go on and do your honours, or you can of course stay and do your honours as well. So I just think it's important, because I think I know when I was in Leaving Cert, I only put down a few level 7 options, and you never know, you might not be happy with your level 8 option. So it's really good that you fill out both sections of the NAO application.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Such a great overview of the course. I really appreciate your time. I just want to let our viewers know one other thing about this course. Our level 8 is accredited by the Association for Nutrition. This is a very hard accreditation for a course to get, so we're absolutely delighted that our human nutrition course has this. So Niamh, thank you so much for your time today. So Rachelle, I'll now move on to yourself. So Rachelle is representing the Health and Medical Information Science program that we offer. It's an online course. It's a level 7, 3 years. So Rachelle, what is the study of health and medical information science? What does it include?
Good evening, everyone. And yeah, I suppose Emer and Niamh have set us up very nicely for that question, because while Emer explained health science is about, understanding, I suppose, practices for healthier living, and Niamh highlighted the nutritional route, but also identified in her own research that data is an issue. Our program is about data. It's about bringing all that data across the health spectrum together, being able to manipulate it, analyze it, and inform policy changes. So through the 3-year program, you learn the foundations of health sciences, but also math, statistics, and computing. And then in the 2nd year and the 3rd year, you build on applications as to how you would go about actually identifying, collating, manipulating, analyzing, and using data to inform policy changes or audits of current practice or potential impacts of future changes to health delivery and health outcomes and health society in a broader aspect.
Okay, and in year 3, Rachelle, students undertake a health data project. Can you tell us what is involved in this?
So similar to, I suppose, how the health sciences programs have different streams, there would be different streams associated with the health project in year 3 of the course. So whether you want to undertake a project along the lines of analysing statistical health-related data to produce some type of policy document about changes in health outcomes over time, or whether you want to develop a database that kind of services an unmet need within the private or public sector in terms of healthcare delivery or healthcare operations, whether you want to look at health economics more specifically in health technology assessment and how introducing something new into healthcare delivery, into the pathway of healthcare delivery, and how that ends up changing outcomes and costs in terms of healthcare budgets, or whether you want to look at policy appraisal more generally and look at policies that have been implemented. Are they effective? Have they been efficient? Have they had the impact that I suppose that the intention was there initially, and audit them, providing valuable information on the functionality of current policies. So you would have a different type of, I suppose, a focus depending on what areas you enjoyed up until that point in time in semester 2 of your 3rd year. And you would also be placed with either a academic research supervisor or within a public or private setting to work on that project with people who are experts in the area.
Okay, so once qualified, what type of jobs are available for graduates?
Okay, so within this program, in the broader sense, you would qualify as a data scientist, but you can be a data scientist with a specialization for biostatistics or health economics or I suppose health policy. So in terms of those particular skills, you'll have an applied knowledge similar to someone who has maybe done a master's level course in this area with a more general degree behind them in maths or statistics or business or science more broadly. So you will have the skills to be able to go into a work placement within that area of data analysis, database management, database construction, health policy, health economics, health technology assessment, and the wider areas in terms of public health delivery, public health surveillance, in both in the private and the public sector. And to be able to go into a job and start on day 1 with the skills that you need, rather than having to spend the first year or in a trainee kind of a junior position. this role also, the course also gives you transferable skills. So although it is in the area of health and medical information, it's the same skills that you need for the environment. It's the same skills you need for public sector, education, all different facets of, I suppose, society. So you would be an analyst that has the ability to look at all the different areas of data identification, data collection, data manipulation, and policy formation from data analysis. So there is quite a large range of different roles, and just in the Irish healthcare sector at the moment, the HSE has had a huge recruitment drive, and individuals joining the HSE, even at lower level clerical staff, the average income there is about 25,000, and those individuals usually would have an ECDL or have working knowledge of computer skills across the Microsoft package, but the skills that our graduates would have would be far more advanced than that. And that they would be able to take data sets, run analysis on them, and produce trends analysis or outcomes analysis in real time for their employers. So they'll be a very valuable asset both in Ireland and internationally.
That's fantastic, Rachelle. Thank you so much for all your time on that. So that brings us to the end of our webinar today. I'd like to thank all our panelists. If anybody would like to ask any questions, we are live until 9 p.m. tonight. And if you'd like to ask any questions after this event, you can come onto our CAO Hub on itsligo.ie. We have a live Q&A function there, or visit any of our social media platforms and you'll be able to ask your questions. So thank you very much to everybody, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our event today. Thank you.